The Exorcism of Anneliese Michel. In a small Bavarian town in Germany, during the 1970s, a young woman named Anneliese Michel began to exhibit disturbing behavior that would eventually lead to one of the most famous and tragic exorcism cases in history. Anneliese was born on September 21, 1952, into a deeply religious family. She was raised in a strict Catholic environment, attending church regularly and participating in various religious activities. As a child, Anneliese was described as a devout and quiet girl, but as she entered her teenage years, her behavior began to change. It all started with mild convulsions and odd behavior during her prayers. Anneliese would complain of feeling a sinister presence and hearing voices that told her she was damned. Her family grew increasingly concerned as her symptoms worsened. Anneliese's mental and physical health rapidly deteriorated, and she was diagnosed with epilepsy and depression. Despite medical treatment, Anneliese's condition only worsened. She became aggressive and hostile, frequently injuring herself and displaying incredible strength. She started to reject religious artifacts and became highly averse to sacred places. Her parents, Joseph and Anna Michel, sought help from both medical professionals and the Catholic Church, but no one could offer a solution to their daughter's torment. Desperate and convinced that Anneliese's condition was of a spiritual nature, her family turned to the church once more. They approached local priest Father Ernst Alt and implored him to perform an exorcism. Father Alt was initially skeptical, but eventually gained permission from the bishop after witnessing Anneliese's violent outbursts and hearing her speak in languages she had never learned. The exorcism rituals began in 1975 and were performed by Father Alt and another priest, Father Arnold Renz. Anneliese's exorcisms were far from the Hollywood portrayals seen in movies. They were gruelling, physically demanding, and emotionally draining for everyone involved. During the exorcisms, Anneliese would speak in deep, guttural voices, claiming to be several different demons, including Judas Iscariot, Nero, and Hitler. She would scream obscenities, blaspheme against religious figures, and display unnatural strength. The priests often had to physically restrain her to prevent her from harming herself or others. The exorcisms took place several times a week, lasting for hours on end. Anneliese's body became emaciated, and she refused to eat, believing that her suffering would help atone for the sins of others. Her desperate parents watched their daughter's health deteriorate, but they remained steadfast in their belief that the exorcisms were the only hope for her salvation. Tragically, after 67 exorcism sessions over the course of almost a year, Anneliese Michel passed away on July 1, 1976. She was only 23 years old and weighed a mere 68 pounds at the time of her death. The official cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration. An autopsy revealed that Anneliese's knees were broken due to the constant genuflections during the exorcisms. Her body bore the marks of self-inflicted wounds and injuries sustained during the sessions. The priests and Anneliese's parents were charged with negligent homicide, leading to a trial that captured the world's attention. During the trial, the priests and the Michels defended their actions, claiming they believed Anneliese was genuinely possessed and that they were trying to save her soul. The court found them guilty of manslaughter resulting from negligence and sentenced them to 6 months in jail, later suspended, and 3 years of probation. The case of Anneliese Michel remains a controversial and tragic chapter in the history of exorcisms. Some see her story as evidence of the dangers of religious fanaticism, while others continue to believe that she was genuinely possessed by demonic entities. Regardless of one's beliefs, Anneliese's life and death serve as a sobering reminder of the complexities of mental illness, spirituality, and the human capacity for belief in the face of unimaginable suffering.